everyone, it's your friend Rhonda, and it's been a hot minute since I've done anything out of my car, but I was afraid. I had something on my mind, and I was afraid if I didn't pull over and get it out of my system, I probably wouldn't remember everything that I wanted to say. So today I want to talk to you about Unshakable Trust. I've been reading a book from Joyce Meyer called Unshakable Trust. It is amazing. I thought that I trusted God so explicitly about every little thing until her book. And her book has definitely challenged me in so many different areas. And giving things to God. When we give things to God and we take something to God, do we go take it back from Him? Is there a time that maybe God takes a little bit too long to answer, and so we go and we kind of take it back? And I've been guilty of that. I'm sure a lot of you have been guilty of that because, for me, God works in football minutes. And it goes into overtime, and sometimes it goes into double overtime. And it's hard to be patient. I think sometimes God allows us to wait so that we can be patient, and then when He comes through, we know He's a faithful God. I think a lot of times maybe He doesn't come through because maybe that's not the best thing for us. Maybe it's not His will for our life. And so, if we don't trust God, when we take something to God, if we still feel worried, if we feel anxious about it, then we haven't fully given it to God, because God is a God of peace. Once you give something to God, you should be able to give it to Him and let it go. You shouldn't have to go back for the cross after a little while. We shouldn't have to babysit God and say, remember me? Remember that prayer that I prayed like 2 months ago? It's sometimes I find when God isn't answering, it's something I always say, the teacher is silent during a test. So I think sometimes we are being tested a little bit. But if we still have worry and we still have anxiety after we take something to God, are we fully trusting Him? No, we're not. That's the answer. No, we're not. Because if we keep worrying and we keep being anxious about it, we're not really giving it all the way to God. We're giving Him some of it, but we're also keeping some of it to ourselves. So, once I read that, I was like, that's really interesting, because I always hear God say to me all the time, do you trust me? Yes, Lord, I trust you. Do you trust me explicitly? Yes, I trust you explicitly. Are you still worrying about something that we've already talked about? Yeah. Well, then, you haven't fully given me your trust. And so this book has really challenged me in the trusting God area of my life, because I thought I trusted God explicitly with every area of my life. But then once I realized I was still worrying, I was still feeling anxiety, and that's a total human emotion for us to have, then I realized I wasn't trusting to the full capacity that God would like to have our trust. So as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to me too. I am going to challenge myself the next time I give something to God. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be anxious about it. I'm going to give it to Him. I'm not going to go take that cross back and say, I'll just bring it to you another time. I think you've forgotten about me. I'm not going to second guess God. Not going to do it. So I'm challenging you to do the same. Do we really trust God 100%, or do we not? And if we don't, that's something we need to work on. And I can tell you, there's a lot of prayers I've prayed before that I am so glad that God did not answer. And I'm sure you can also relate to that. So let's just pray that we're in God's will. If it's His will for us to have something or to do something, then it's His will. And just trust Him. Trust Him. And as always, guys, have a blessed day and have peace on purpose.